So in this class, we're going to look at a very basic single axis turn. In Tango, we have quite a few axes. We have here, if I'm standing over my left leg, we would say that I'm over my left axis. If I switch to my right leg, we'd say we're over our right axis. Okay? In a turn, we have usually one axis. That's the pivot point of the turn. So here, for instance, I'm going to go around Shelley. She's the axis of the turn. Okay? Now, I'm going to stop and send Shelley around me. I'm the axis of the turn. Then we can even do a turn also where, again, we have a point in the middle of us that we're both going around. In a shared axis turn, we're going to take that point and we're both going to stand on that axis and turn around one another. So the simplest way to start thinking about this would be, let's say we did a burrito, a sweep of her foot. See, now my right foot and her right foot, as we come up onto them, that's creating a single axis. It's a shared single axis here. And that's what I'm going to go around there. Now, we always think of line of dance when we're teaching anything or doing any step. So here, we're starting, this is our line of dance here. And this step only gets us around about 180. So now to get out of this, my rate's on my left, her rate is on her right. So I switched rate at the end of that turn. Now I'm going to step back with my right. She's going to step into me. And have her step around me. And then we can go out in the cross. Whoop. Nice little safe single axis turn there. We can take this same idea. I sweep her foot, but then lead her to sweep back. Now still, this is going to be our single axis here. As I bring her weight up over her right leg, I'm going to my right leg. And then I'm going to send the energy around. So, from here, when I sweep her foot back, first off, the sweep back, this isn't really a class on burritos, we'll talk about this real quickly. Whenever I instigate a burrito to begin with, a sweep, I find her foot, I sweep it, she applies a little bit of pressure to my foot. So if it goes back, her foot's going to come back with my foot. So it looks like she's sweeping my foot there. Now then, again, we switch weight back to our right foot, we're going to have something that we're going to create sort of a centrifugal force here. So it's going to spiral up. So as we spun around there, Shelley got heavier in my embrace. I didn't expand it that much. In fact, we can do this in close. But I still feel pressure happening there. Two more popular ones. Begin from a side step. I like to use a little rebound to start with, just sort of to get a little extra energy into the step here. But here, I'm going to put my foot close to hers. And then around. So notice here, I'm getting very close to Shelley's foot here. But I'm not going here, because here, as soon as we start to turn, my foot's going to be blocking her. We want it to be for here or here, but definitely not out here. See, this isn't a single turn. We don't have anything we're sharing there. We need to be close to where we can share sort of a spot on the floor. Again, that centrifugal force. She got heavier. That's expected. The one real challenging thing for these steps is I have to have a lot of knowledge through a lot of dancing of where her foot's going to land. Because we need to land in a very similar spot here. Again, if I step out here, it's not going to work. If I step here, not going to work. It needs to be almost right next to my foot. And then, and I'll do this by myself here for a second, just to show, I've got to really take, again, this is my line of dance here. I've got to be able to spin on this foot around. Then I can switch weight if I need to. Here, I've got to, and I can't really wind up and go. I have to right from here, go. So that's something to practice before you start doing single axis turns. So there, I actually do switch right about halfway through. Then I'm going to take my right foot around, and I'm going to end up on my right foot in front of her right foot. So we're in cross system, then we can go out to the cross. In close. The next one would start from a rebound again, but then going to the close side. So I'm going to rebound and lead Shelley to step forward with her right. Now, I want to lead her to get pretty close to my foot here. And then we can go over. So with this one, I'm going to lead Shelley to step forward to the close side. My right foot, her right foot again. And see how close we are? I need her close there so that we can go around. I use that force of her step to send us around. So it would be rather difficult to get to here and then try and do the turn. I actually need, and this applies to the last ones that we were doing as well, I need her energy going into that step and to immediately take that around. So I need the follower to take a really nice bold step with the heel roll through the foot so that I can feel as she's rolling through the foot, going to the ball of her foot, the moment she's, yeah, like Shelley's saying, the moment she's on that ball of the foot, that's when I'm going around.
So basically for us not to be timid, we've got, whether we're taking that side step or there, go. take the full step.
We need that energy of the follow through. And we'll get around differing amounts, depending on who we're with. So how you get out of it, you can work on that yourselves. If you get all the way around, then we'll be facing the line of dance. I'll probably take a small back step and then to the side and exit out. So if this is my line of dance, there. But if you get around a little more than that, you can curve the side step, do a rebound. You've got tools in your tango to do that. So pretty much any single axis turn is going to involve, again, that shared axis. In fact, sometimes it's called single axis turn. Some people call it a shared axis turn. Both are true. Both things are happening. In fact, you can't really have it without both of those things existing at the same time. One of my favorites is from a simple parada and sandwich situation. Here, normally in this situation, I would step around and open this space for Shelley to enter. But in this case, I'm going to just go straight back. So I'm not giving her anywhere to go. So hopefully she collects. And then I can sweep her foot around and do a turn. One more time. And yes, we can do this in close. In close, you might notice I do a little, because we don't have quite the energy that we have in open to get around. So as we're doing any of these, just some little notes here, is we don't want to break at the back. We actually, it's very similar to a colgata, that as we feel that force, if there is some stretching in the embrace, notice Shelley's hips and upper body go back together. It's not just in the upper body. Right. It's not back like that, okay? So as we go around, see, she stays pretty straight.
And if anything, engage here. Don't let this come out.
Yeah, so we need strong core for these. And also for most of these, look at where Shelley's free leg. So her free leg here is going to be her left. It stays pretty close and down on the ground. She's not going to let it fly. Yeah, one, that takes us off balance, and it's very dangerous.
And it may longer.
Yeah, for other people on the dance floor. So there's lots of other single axis, shared axis turns. We'll look at them in some other videos, particularly in colgatas, because again, we already have, they're actually kind of mini colgatas to begin with. So doing one when we do a larger colgata makes a lot of sense. But there's lots of different places that we can throw them in. But I think these are some just to get you started with the shared axis turns. Okay, thanks.